Hello there and welcome back. This is Russell Emery, aka EM Fresh, for Fresh to the Extreme. In this video, you will see Larry Fresh and Roger Fresh, and we have made it to Tannery Knobs in, I think it's Johnson City, Tennessee. All right, if you've been following along on our Dupont tour, we have just come from Wolf Creek Trails in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and making our way to Brevard, North Carolina. So this is the second stop on the same day. So we rode twice, basically. so um, so that's Larry you see in the front.
Rocky.
And also a point to note, we are going to ride Dupont tomorrow, okay, and then on the way back we're going to stop at the Pinnacle Trails, Fire Tower Trail, do that climb, and then stop back in Fayetteville, North Carolina on our way back to Morgantown, West Virginia,
down here.
At the New River Gorge Trails, also known as Arrow Creek Trails. So they're all the same thing right in that area. Okay, so we came out of this pretty tight. My legs are pretty tight. I didn't think it would be this wild right here. It's pretty fast and flowy. As you'll see here in a second, the climbs, the faster you go down, the harder is the climb out because it's pretty steep. Not too bad a climb. I'm sort of used to this type of climbing where we are.
Frighten me.
Probably pretty much no match, but there are some steep sections. The heart rate went from 57 beats per minute to all the way back up to 140 again, just in a matter of seconds. So it took us about 3 hours to drive from Wolf Creek there. And so we were worried that we wouldn't get here in time because it might be too dark. But as you can see, it is quite beautiful. The sun coming through the trees. Very sketchy areas coming up here. So I had to wake up, become alert. I think we're all trying to wake up and become alert from sitting in the van for so long. All right, but they have a lot of little tabletops here, and quite surprising actually. This trail kind of reminds me what our city is trying to do, or the school is trying to do in Morgantown. This is we have a place called West One Woods. Didn't mean to sound like Elmer Fudd. West Run Woods. And Baker's Ridge is sort of like this, but it looks like the city here wants to be safe and there's no trees here like to get stabbed on or impaled on if you fall off the side. But this is kind of narrow. You can't really tell. Of course, GoPro sort of takes the elevation away, but you can see the speed. Quite frightening to ride on these leaves here. I think I'm going to slide up now. This is very, 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 very steep right here on the side, on the left. You can see. I'm like, oh my God, what in the world? Ah! I'm pedal striking against the cliff because I'm trying to lean or lean over to the right so I don't fall over into the ravine over there. But you can see the backdrop. That's Johnson City. Actually, very nice. Nice, cool night. And see a lot of hardtails out here. I think we have some, some local riders behind us. Roger's behind me. We're taking it easy. We're trying to learn these trails really quick. And I thought we were only going to do this one time, but as you will see, that is not the case. We're going to do every single trail in here, just about, except for the Black Diamonds. And the reason why we're not doing the Black Diamonds is because we can't see the rocks really, and we don't want another Wolf Creek incident, and we don't want to get hurt. And just the first day of the trip, we don't want to get hurt at all, as a matter of fact. So we're just taking it safe, playing it safe, but safe enough. All right, so I think we are making our way back up the hill. In this first 10 minutes here, I'll show you us climbing up the hill, but in the second and third loops, I will not show the entire climb because it takes quite a while to get back to the top. I think about 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes to get back to the top. And we're very deep down on the side here. And so, very nice trails. I think this trail was made by the International Mountain Bike Association TC chapter. That means Tennessee chapter. And this place is sponsored by a whole bunch of brands here. Let me see. You got Trek, the bicycle company, which is my favorite bike at the moment. My favorite bike company. I know I'm riding a Hightower. Santa Cruz is good too, The Trek allows me not to, don't have to worry about my weight. And so, let's see, International, the Johnson City Parks and Recreation, of course. Okay, and SORBA, and I think I know what that means. It's the Southern Off-Road Bike Association, Tri-Cities area. And I don't know what cities those are, but I think it might be the Brevard or, well, no, we're in Tennessee. I'll do research that. Okay. But anyways, so here's the climb back up to the top. You see, I am very, very, very stiff. I can barely move my legs from the ride. So I learned how to differentiate between stiff and tired legs. Right now they're stiff, so it feels like they're tired, but they're not really tired. They just need to warm up. And I can see how Roger feels now when he starts off. It takes him about 6 miles to warm up his legs. And he's, I forget what position he played in football when he was back in the day. All-American. And so, so they're pretty stiff. It just seems like, when I look at Larry, it seems like he just rode these trails before. Because he took off pretty quick, blind, going down these, some of these hills here. It looks like we're going uphill. GoPro makes it look like we're going uphill, but we're really going downhill, but we're really going uphill. This is very gradual. You see Larry spinning fast. That means it's pretty, very steep. Made it over. Got to maintain your composure about you. Got some Kakapon here, right here. Some Kakapon rocks. Not bad, that bad though. So you wouldn't have anything like this in the city. Probably due to liability. I'm pedal striking against the rocks here. If I hit too hard, I'm going over the side. I need to probably lower my cranks. These cranks were on the Slash. This is what I told you before. I'm supposed to be riding the Slash, but the Shimano XT pistons were leaking oil on the front brake, and I don't have any Shimano tools I found out. I have all SRAM. I can fix any SRAM part or maintain it anyway if I put brake fluid, but I guess they use the same different things, so it was really bad. So I've been awake almost, I would say 24 hours, and I'm riding and then I'm driving. So that's why I'm riding the Hightower. And so back to the cranks. The cranks are really meant for, I think they're 170 millimeter cranks. And the cranks are what your pedals go on to, if you didn't know that. I didn't know it. You don't notice those. They just call them pedals, but they're cranks. And you can put different pedals on your cranks. And so there's different lengths depending on how you ride or where you're riding. If you're riding pretty much smooth trails and stuff like that, and with not very much rocks, you can get away with longer cranks and Longer cranes make it sort of a little bit easier to pedal. Actually, a lot easier to pedal. And it's kind of like leverage, you know, like you can pick up stuff. Like if you were in construction or something, you can use you want to, or a better example, a very bad example giver. Uh, for example, if you were trying to untighten a bolt on your bicycle or on anything, and use a tiny screwdriver or a tiny ratchet or wrench, you might not be able to get untight, but if you lengthen it, make it longer, you are giving it more leverage. And so you're able to provide more torque, I guess, at less power. Kind of weird, huh? Weird how physics works. So that's the same thing with the crank. So I think they go all from 160 to 175 these days. I did a little research on it. I might make a video about that. Yeah. So maybe that's why I'm pedaling pretty good, because they're 175. But the bad part is I'm pedal striking because the high tower travel is 140 in the rear, and I have a 150 millimeter lyric fork in the front, a suspension fork in the front, and so it's a little bit lower. And so the slash, I have 180 millimeters of travel on the front, and then it's 160 on the rear. Okay, and so it works a little better because you get that 10 extra millimeters, and so I'm able to climb really well, just as good as a high tower. You know, people are like when I'm riding, like, how in the world are you pedaling up the hill on that 180 millimeter travel fork? Well, that's the geometry's longer. You know, even though I don't have it here, I'm talking about it for, but I really miss it because I can climb a lot easier with that bike. And when I'm going down hills, it's just like a magic carpet. It's like so plush and so controlled. With the high tower, it's really light. And believe it or not, this bike weighs 26 pounds. Okay. Whereas my Slash weighs, I got it down to 33 pounds. And they're carbon frame. So I really can't tell the difference between the two, believe it or not. But you can tell when you're going downhill, especially on the high tower, the difference, because it's so light, it's so flickable. So I have to be careful to maintain my composure. Okay, so we're up at the top. That was our first loop here, and I think we're done. I'm done. I'm ready to go to Brevard and go to sleep in the Hampton Inn.
I was trying to do that, then we got
But no, we can't just do that. It just can't be good. I'm glad we did, but we have Roger behind us.
You don't get too carried away.
He said, I'm just warmed up. I need to get some more laps in here. And we might as well. We're here anyway. But the sun looks absolutely beautiful over there on the side there. Very beautiful. So, Roger, let's go do another lap. Okay, let's go do another lap. You know I'm tired. I'm good at holding pain in. You look at me, you can't tell if I'm in pain or not. But man, those leaves look very beautiful. It's actually worth it. I know I might make jokes and stuff, but I'm just so blessed. Like Roger said, we're blessed to be able to have our health to be able to ride places like these, and have bikes like these, and to be able to take these trails and drops and whatnot and routes without dying or getting hurt or anything. So you look at that and you just really start to appreciate the nature of things and how the trail builders build stuff to make it enjoyable. I'm not saying not, for a person like me, I'm not a nature person, by trade, but I'm like almost full-blown tree hugger now. I'd much rather be outside than inside. If you follow some of my, I don't put very many videos on about my other profession, but I make a music. I worked alone, remotely since 2008. Okay, after the crisis, the mortgage crisis, I was a loan officer That was a very bad time. You got, had foreclosure and whatnot. I know I'm putting my life on the line here. I tell you guys here, but just so you know, like it's not. You people like wonder how do you get these bikes and stuff. I'm gonna tell you over time, but
we're going back the opposite direction.
But I'm nothing special, when I'm riding this stuff. And like I said, I got on this for health reasons. Like most, and I'm just lucky, you say I'm blessed, but I'm just saying lucky. It has nothing to do with being blessed. It's just lucky to, have some of the financial success that I've had in the past, in the last year. But it was absolute hell. Like we all know, it's hard. Life is hard. Everyone's looking for that break and, that ray of sunshine, especially those who, were on the wrong path at one point, like myself, But you live and you learn. I'm lucky and blessed, okay, to have, a beautiful wife, beautiful everything. Everything's beautiful right now. And, without there's problems, but most things are beautiful. Everything is beautiful. Like the Ecclesiastes says in the Bible, there's a time for everything. So you can't be happy all the time, but you want to be happy most of the time. And so right now I'm very happy, even though I am in suffering from climbing these hills and stuff. And so anyway, I had some people ask me what kind of in my email, because just so you know, you can also go to freshtotheextreme.com if you still know what that is, okay, because they have apps now. You just press the icon. You don't have to type anything in your browser. You can, somehow it just pops up to the top. You search Google, just type fresh to the extreme, okay, .com, all right, and I think Google is trying to hurt me a little bit. I'm going to say it out loud because they want my analytics for my website. I ain't giving it to them, okay, because I'm not selling anything, and when they see you're starting to get traffic, they want you to buy it. It's kind of like Facebook. Like a lot of people think when they post, everyone can see your post, but for Facebook, you have to pay for it. You have to pay for people to see your post. They try to hide that fact, but you don't see nothing. If I post something, only your, immediate friends, or if someone has looked at you in the past recently, you might get, some views or whatever. But but the YouTube they like me on. Okay, they love me on the YouTube for my local area anyway. And so if you want, you can go. If you ask me a question, or if you want me to review things, review bikes, like I said, I am right now. My weight is 216 pounds. Okay, I am 6 feet 2 inches. All right, and you can see the bikes I ride. Okay. On these trails. So if you have a product, if you're a brand out there, and I think Larry wants to get involved too with that. He's actually probably more capable. He's been riding longer, and he knows certain things. So you'll probably see, you will see a lot more of him on the channel. And he doesn't know it. I just put him out there, but I think he wants to. I could tell. We've had good conversations on the way down, and we'll be working together, and trying to get Roger into it as well. To doing, people have a lot of knowledge in these things, riding your bikes and stuff. I'm just muddling along. It might look like I know what I'm doing, but I don't. I've wasted a lot of money trying to find the right bikes, but basically, in a nutshell, you got to get in shape to ride, okay, and then get your weight down as low as you can without being sick, and natural. Make a lifestyle out of it if you can, and that sun is beautiful to the right. Look at that, those flares. But yeah, you just got to make a lifestyle out of it. Try not to see it as working out. I try not to see the stuff as working out. And I don't. If you do that, you'll stop riding. I think that's one thing that gets me back into focus, or to keep me focused on, is doing the downhill riding, like the adrenaline rush type stuff. Like you see the bike parks like Killington and Snowshoe and Bryce and all that stuff. That keeps it fun. Okay, and I had to dial it back a little bit, I think, because I'm riding with very experienced riders. I've been riding since they're 15, 16,
Yeah, why not?
12 years old, and I'm with these people, and I think they think,
probably jump off the side.
I'm not gonna, I think I'm inclined to ride, but, there's certain techniques and, just riding, not just techniques. You just ride, you get experience. You will fall, but then you'll learn, not to fall the next time. So
Okay.
I'm knowing my capabilities, and I know, I'm starting to feel the forks and stuff. As a matter of fact, this lyric feels really good. And some of the stuff is you don't have to buy, well, you don't have to buy the newest, latest thing, every single thing that comes out. So don't think up to what I'm doing, to keep up with the Joneses or whatever, when it comes to biking. You know how people do when they see someone have something and then that's not what I'm doing. I'm trying to find the right forks and the most comfort, but at the same time, you'll get used to riding the bike you have. I mean, these bikes are real expensive, so, I mean, you have these bikes for your life, that's for the rest of your life. The e-bikes, I don't know, because the battery runs out. They have new batteries and stuff, so I think they only warranty them for so long. So I have a feeling we have a lot of bike waste for e-bikes if you're into that stuff. You can't just, I know the Turbo Libos, the 218 there, might discontinue those batteries because they have the smaller ones with more power. But then, okay, now I have this big bike. I guess you can pedal it, but you ain't going very fast because it's 65 pounds. I guess you take the battery out, I guess. That would probably bring it down a little bit. Probably, because the battery's 20 pounds, I believe. Okay, well, in this section here, I forgot to tell you, I'm going off on tangent. I am taking the lead. You see how fast I'm going. Very comfortable now. My legs are warmed up, and my confidence in the trail. Because when you ride, they say you ride or you pre-ride, ride it again, and then you free ride. So you go and you just so you can feel the trail. Don't just taking off down the trail. I don't know how Larry did it, but he did it. Because those leaves, you don't know what's under them. It could be water, okay, and you would slip and then you can bust your butt really bad. So now I'm, despite the leaves being there, there's lots of traction here right now. Not too dusty. It's not loose, but it's very, very grippy, believe it or not. It's gonna be flying down here. I'm actually catching a little air, even air going downhill. And I know that talking about older bikes, like the lyric, when I didn't understand forks at the time, but I know now that there's compression. The compression for the I get the cheaper shocks, but they're not cheap. What they do, and they're like one dial shocks, and they're tuned, so you don't have to mess with the compression, high speed compression, low speed compression, rebound, like you do like on the Fox 40. But I'm fine. I need more. I'm like maxed out. I have my the knob, the charger damper knob on here, charger tube. It doesn't have the separate high-speed compression, but it's not tuned to my weight. Or I'm going too aggressively now. I'm like way more confident, so I'm more skilled. But I can feel myself popping up. Before when I rode, I just stayed flat, like riding, more control. So I'm like skipping around everywhere, and I have the compression and rebound fully closed, and I'm still getting pumped up. Sag is set perfectly. It feels pretty good. It's still plush, but man, if I get some speed there and I hit a rock or hit a jump or something, man, I'm getting launched. But then if there's some vibrations or some, you see some rocks come up, and man, I'm popping all over the place instead of just sticking to the ground or tracking the ground like it's supposed to, like my Zeb Ultimate does. Charger 3 damper on my Zeb, or the new Zeb 2020 Zeb, which to me right now is the best Enduro fork at the moment on the market. The Beach Fox 38. I'm sorry, Fox, you got to come out with buttercups, yo.
This is TDH.
But anyway, still the Fox 38 is pretty good still. It's just, if you get braking bumps, that's the only difference. You will feel that vibration on the Fox 38. But right now we're talking about the high tower. Let me stick to the subject so you guys don't get confused. All right, I'm not going to show the whole climb here, but we're trying to find another way back up. But it looks like the the sign up top is wrong that we were looking at to find new trails. And they took, and looks like you'll see me turn around and Larry will be in the lead as I spin up. And sometimes I think these guys maybe go first because they don't know where to go, and then they'll stay back, and I'm pedaling ahead, wasting my heart and energy. And then I turn around here in a second, and they're like, "Oh, I'm a half mile ahead. That's a lot of pedaling uphill." And then I have to come back down. Then my energy is depleted. See, now I have to turn around, wrong way. See a little sign up there.
Can't go that way.
All right, gotta turn around. And they're just waiting back there.
Wrong way.
I'm like the guinea pig of not knowing where to go. Now, if I brought my e-bike, if I had the e-bike right now, which I do have in the van, believe it or not, in case I run out of steam. But in this trip, I never had to pull the old, the S-Works out of the Levo out of the van. I rode pedal bike the whole way. I'm very proud of myself for that. And I think I got a little bit of more ounce of respect or respect from Larry and Roger, because they pick on me about riding e-bikes sometimes. But looks like it's been working out for me. So, matter of fact, I don't think I've rode the e-bike in almost 2 weeks actually. I think my legs are getting stronger. So that just shows you don't necessarily need an e-bike once you get in shape. But like I said, I use the e-bike more of on off season, or if I need a shuttle. Like I said, I want to do some downhill in places that there's no downhill lift. Like I have another buddy. We are e-bike fanatics. AC. He has all the bikes that Specialized ever made. He has every single version. He has a Vado, Turbo Vado, the Kenevo SL, Vado SL. Like he has every single Kenevo made. I mean, talk about the new ones. You're talking about someone that has some e-bike tech or mountain bike tech. That's one guy that has all the tech that you could possibly ever want on a bike. Okay, so we are done. We are finished. All right, Roger has some beers. We'll put some pictures on. You might see them on Larry's page or on Facebook or whatever if you were following us on Instagram or whatever.
Hello?
And that's it. And if I hadn't before, thank you for watching.
Hello?
And stay tuned next week for Brevard, North Carolina, Dupont, and all the rest of the trails we'll be riding. All right. See you later.